Week 5, we had some pretty great games this week. Pretty close, I would say. And we have some really great games, I would say, for Week 6. First things first, let's take a moment to just appreciate how beautiful these Bronco uniforms are. Tell me why these are not our primary. Makes no sense. 0 sense. But we'll get into that later. Big things around the league, a lot of drama, and I don't know. I feel like we're in a good space right now for the NFL. But either way, let's get into these games. Kicking off, hold on, wait a sec. There we go. Kicking off Thursday night, we had the Bucs going to Atlanta. Kirk Cousins put on a show, 509, 4 touchdowns. Baker had 3 touchdowns, 180. Kirk also had 1 pick. Run game for the Bucs was there. It was visible. For the Falcons, it wasn't really anything big, but for receiving, Drake London and Darnell Mooney both over 100, multiple touchdowns. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Mike Evans had his first, I would say, really great game with 2 touchdowns. But, this was a extremely back and forth game. I would say the Bucs should have won this game. Had a couple penalties that did not go their way, and then, overtime came. They lost the coin toss. Can't do much there. But a big division win for the Falcons. Great game for Kirk Cousins. Tough loss for the Bucs. Next, we had the first London game of the season, I believe, with Aaron Rodgers and the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers had a pretty terrible game, 244, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. A lot of those stats actually came, in the fourth quarter. Sam Darnold had an okay game, 179 and a pick. He didn't really have anything. His defense was really carrying him this game, but he made the throws when he needed to. Nick Mullins came in for a drive or a couple plays, but wasn't anything special. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen combined 36, no touchdowns. Ty Chandler and Aaron Jones, and just the Vikings in general came up to 82 and a touchdown, but the run game for either team was not really existent. Receiving wise, Justin Jefferson 92, Jordan Addison only had 36. Missed a deep shot that should have been a touchdown, I think. And Garrett Wilson was pretty much the only one. Him and Conklin. Alan Lazard got another touchdown, but the defense was just shutting Aaron Rodgers down. Huge defensive performance and big win for the Vikings to stay undefeated. Next, we have Carolina going to Chicago. Andy Dalton, he had 136 and a touchdown. Caleb Williams, 304 and 2 touchdowns. The Bears played really great. The run game, Chuba Hubbard was doing pretty great. 97, 13 carries, 7.5 yards a carry and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift had a pretty okay game, 21 for 73 and a touchdown. But the star of the show was DJ Moore. 5 catches, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was going crazy. Jalen Coker, 68 yards for the Panthers. Never even heard of this guy. Jonathan Mingo, 37. Miles Sanders, Deontay Johnson were not big factors. But, this was an all-around win for the Bears. Offense, defense, they just played really great. I would say the Panthers didn't really play that good, though. So a mix of that plus the Bears playing great, that just kind of, that's the score outcome. Next, we have a pretty close game. A game that kind of was all over the place. This was, I had the Ravens winning this game, but I honestly believe the Bengals should have won this game just by the way they played. We had a shootout. Lamar Jackson, 348, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Joe Burrow, 392, 5 touchdowns, no pick, 1 pick. Derrick Henry, 92 and a touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 55. Chase Brown and Zach Moss combined for 70. both got kind of banged up in the game, so I feel like that was a factor as well. Zay Flowers, 111, no touchdowns. Charlie Kohler, he had a touchdown with Rashad Bateman, 2 touchdowns to Isaiah Likely for this game. Jamar Chase, 193, 2 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 83, 2 touchdowns. This was the most complete game, I feel like, for the Bengals receiving corps all season. So they had a great game. No defense was played by either team here. And the fact that the Bengals could have won this game if it was a better snap and a better hold on that last second field goal, Ravens go down, end up scoring a touchdown. So, I mean, a field goal at the end to win the game. But tough division loss for the Bengals, but a huge win for the Ravens. They definitely needed that. Next, we have the toilet bowl of the week. The Dolphins and the Patriots. This was such a 50-50 game, and I had the most trouble deciding who I was going to pick for this game because I'm like, they're going to have 0 quarterback play, but their team's good. Outside of that, well, average. I was like, or the Patriots, who have a quarterback, and then nothing else. So it's like, are you putting faith in Jacoby Brissett or the rest of the Dolphins team? I picked the Patriots, and they were, it looked like it was going to be, a great game. It was just unfortunate. It was something that, this was a game the Patriots should have won. But for the Dolphins to win this game, it's brutal. It's so brutal. But, yeah, this is probably the worst division in football, in my opinion. I mean, the Bills aren't playing that great. The Dolphins suck. The Patriots suck. The Jets suck. I mean, is there a worse division? Probably not. Pretty sure no one watched this game, but if you did, what are you doing? Next, we have the Browns going to Washington. It's hard for me to really say if the Commanders are truly legit. Don't get me wrong, they're playing great. They're playing fantastic. But they haven't played really good teams, if we're being honest here. But, I mean, you have Deshaun Watson, who has, honestly, I don't even know what to say. Completely horrible. He had an 8.5 QBR. You have to almost try to do that. He had 125 and a touchdown. I mean, he's throwing checkdowns. 15 completions for 125 yards. That averages to 4.5 yards. That means you're like getting the ball to the receiver, and they're either getting tackled immediately or you're throwing it behind the line of scrimmage for them to a screen pass or something. This offense is not going to do anything with Deshaun Watson at all. They're not going to score points. They can't. Even if Nick Chubb comes back. I mean, there's nothing. I just don't understand. But yeah, Jane Daniels, 238, touchdown pick. He also ran for 82. McLaurin had a great game, 112. Denami Brown had a touchdown. Amari Cooper, 60 yards. Jordan Atkins had the only touchdown for the Browns. But, yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to go off of here. It's just the Browns, man. They can't. They're just really bad. Really bad. Next, we have the Colts going to Jacksonville. Joe Flacco had a great game. 359, 3 touchdowns. They almost came back and won this game. Trevor Lawrence, 371, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Trey Sermon is starting over injured Jonathan Taylor, 38 yards and a touchdown. He also had some receiving yards, I believe, 6 for 25. Tank Bigsby had a great game, 101 with 2 touchdowns. ETN, 17, he got kind of banged up, so he didn't really play the rest of the game. This game came down to the end. Colts weren't doing anything the entire game, and then Joe Flacco just starts hitting his receivers. I mean, Alec Pierce, 3 catches, 134 and a touchdown. Josh Downs, 69 and a touchdown to Donnie Mitchell. Mo Alley Cox had a great clutch touchdown as well. So I don't know what the Colts are going to do, man. Are you going to let Anthony Richardson kind of just take a backseat here, learn from the veteran? Or are you going to just put him in and probably put your team in jeopardy of losing even more, So big decisions, but I predicted the Jaguars to win this game just because it was a desperate win. They needed to win. They're going into bye week. They had to win. So luckily I got that pick correct. Next we have the Bills and the Texans. I did want to mention the Jags actually are not going into bye week. They actually are playing this Sunday, but just want to clear that up. I thought they were going into bye week. Either way, desperate win. They needed that. But, next we have the Bills going to Houston. I did have the Bills winning this game, and honestly, there was no reason why they should have lost. No reason. The Texans had no running attack this game. Like, they weren't going to have Joe Mixon. They had backup running backs. C.J. Stroud had a great game, 331, touchdown to pick. Stephon Diggs had a great game. Nico Collins was going to have a monster game, and then he ended up getting hurt. Receiving core, nothing out of the Bills. The Bills need a receiver, and I think they're going to go out and get DeAndre or Amari Cooper or something like that. They're going to definitely get a receiver for Josh Allen. He has nobody to throw to, and it's sad. But the last drive for the Bills to go down and to win the game, they're backed up. They have to get in the field goal range. They're backed up in their own 5, so they have a distance to go, but doable. Instead, they throw 3 deep passes, incomplete, punt it with a bad punt. Texans get the ball, and then they kick a game-winning field goal. One of the dumbest instances I've ever seen. Play clock management was just horrible. I don't know how the Bills lose that game, but big win for the Texans at home. I believe they're going to have back-to-back away games, so we'll see how they fare. Next, we have the Cardinals going to San Francisco to upset the 49ers. Kyler Murray had a pretty decent game, 195, a touchdown and a pick. Brock Purdy had 244, a touchdown and 2 picks. James Conner was the only running back that got yards, which I think is hilarious. Jordan Mason, 89 yards, and pretty much it. But this was just a strong defensive game. They shut down the 49ers when they needed to, and the Cardinals just took advantage. And honestly, there's nothing even really to say. This was just a clutch win for the Cardinals defense. No points allowed in the second half. They just completely shut them down, and the Cardinals were just able to keep putting points up every quarter, which was just really big, obviously. But that was one of the big upsets. I felt like the Cardinals had no business winning this game, but huge division win for the Cardinals, and tough loss for the 49ers. Next, we had the Packers going to LA. Honestly, almost losing this game, but they were able to clutch it up at the end. Jordan Love, I feel like, is still a little bit rusty from his injury. Matthew Stafford hasn't really been doing anything. He also doesn't really have his top 2 catching weapons. Josh Jacobs had a great game, tough running, 73 yards, but these were tough runs, and 1 touchdown. Kyron Williams, honestly, is putting up monster numbers and staying so under the radar just because he's on the Rams. It's not showing, but he's pretty much averaging 100 yards a game with a touchdown per game. So there's nothing really more that you could ask him to do. But big defensive, just a honestly great defense played for the Packers late. But this is the game that the Rams, fully healthy, they win this game. honestly. But yeah, either way, good win for the Packers. Rams need their starters back, and they need them back fast in order for them to even have a chance at making the playoffs, because right now they're looking like a top 8 pick. Next, we have the Giants going to Seattle, in my opinion, which is the one of 2 biggest upsets this week. For the Giants to come in here injured, they don't have Devin Singletary, they don't have Malik Neighbors. For them to come out and win this game, the Seahawks are frauds. They have to be frauds. There's no way they're not frauds. We should have easily beat them. They should be, 2-3. But Geno Smith, 284 touchdown, 28 completions for 40 attempts, which is quite a lot in my opinion. Tyron Tracy Jr., 129, had a great game. And, the reason why the Seahawks lost this game are because of just bad play calling and no run game. Geno Smith should not be, doubling your running backs' totals combined yardage. Darius Slayton had a great game, 122 and a touchdown. Wan'Dale Robinson, 6 catches for 36 and a touchdown. He's been playing great all year. Very, very underrated receiver. Tyler Lockett, 75 yards, no touchdowns. Only touchdown came from Jackson Smith and Agba. But yeah, this was a insane ending. You think that the Giants are going to come out and the Seahawks are going to, push this game to overtime, and instead they end up getting their kick blocked and returned back for a touchdown. Insane ending, and a huge, huge win for the Giants. I'm very happy for the Giants. I'm honestly rooting for the Giants for the NFC, just because their roster is not as bad as people think. They have decent players. It's just they play so inconsistent. Next, we have the absolute just most stupid game of the week. The Cowboys go to Pittsburgh on a delayed game. For whatever reason, I don't know if anyone was watching the beginning before it was delayed. Can someone tell me why the Steelers organization brought in veggie wraps? Because they thought the players would be hungry. I don't know about y'all, but any sport game I ever had, I would never eat a meal before. Unless it was hours in advance. Like, why would they give them veggie wraps? To me, that was just so stupid. I don't know if anyone caught that. But yeah, Dak Prescott, 352, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Honestly, everyone in this game deserved to lose. This game should have been a tie. I can't even think straight. Dak Prescott is trash. The Cowboys' play calling, trash. They need a receiver to help out CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. But no run game at all. The offensive line for the Steelers, for the first time in a while, sucks. And it's interesting that Justin Fields is going to get benched for Russell Wilson. Probably not this week, but next week. This game came down to the wire. Literally the last seconds of the game. And honestly, you just have to look up the last drive of the game. I can't even describe it. It's so stupid. This game was back and forth close for no reason. The Cowboys should have lost this game by 3 scores, and instead they won by 3 points. Honestly, like I said, y'all just have to look at this game. This was just stupid. A really stupid game. Look up the highlights. A win is a win, especially in the NFL, but that was one of the worst wins I've seen in a while. Next, we had Monday night with the Saints going to Kansas City. I had the upset with the Saints winning this game, and of course, anytime I do that, they play absolutely horrible. Derek Carr played insanely horrible, and then he got hurt. Mahomes played pretty decent, 331, no touchdowns but a pick. No run game, absolutely zero run game for the Saints. And then Kareem Hunt, people forgot that he's like, a good running back, so he was a free agent. And then, who else picks him up? The Chiefs. So he gets 27 carries off of 102 yards and a touchdown, something light. The Saints are such a great team. If they have a consistent quarterback, they would be almost unstoppable, to be honest. The fact that the Chiefs are winning games with Juju Smith-Schuster going for 130, I'm pretty sure he had like 250 yards for the entire year with the Patriots. He almost ended up getting cut mid-season. And of course, he does a fantastic on the Chiefs. People don't understand. That's coaching. Andy Reid is the roots of this dynasty right now. As soon as he leaves, the Chiefs are just going to fall apart. I'm calling it. But yeah, this was a really boring game for Monday night. I was expecting it to be a shootout. I was expecting it to be an upset. But, of course, the Chiefs end up winning by double their points. Next, we have the Raiders going to Denver. Division rival game. And let me tell you, this game had my emotions at an all-time low in the beginning. We have lost to the Raiders 8 games in a row, 4 years in a row. And first drive, they go up, they score easy touchdown. We don't do anything on our next drive. Next drive, they go down and kick a field goal. It's 10-0. Next thing you know, we go down and kick a field goal, then it's, 3-10. They go down the field goal with ease, and looks like they're about to go up 17-3. And out of nowhere, Pat Surtain saves the day. This was such a great all-around win for the Broncos. We played efficient on offense. We had no turnovers. Bo Nix, 206, 2 touchdowns. And Javonte Williams, 61 yards, no touchdowns, but he had 50 yards receiving. Jalil had 22. And Josh Reynolds, he had a touchdown. Who had that second touchdown? Oh, Bo Nix had a rushing touchdown. But, the defense was going crazy. If you look here at the defensive stats, we had a total of 5 tackles for loss. We had 6 quarterback hits, 6 pass deflections, a defensive touchdown with Pat Surtain's pick 6, 3 total sacks, and he had both interceptions, but we had 3 total interceptions. Riley Moss had a interception as well. So honestly, here it is here. Pat Surtain, 2 picks. Riley Moss had a pick. But honestly, there's nothing else that you could want. This was just a great, great win. Division rival, got to wear our old uniforms. This was just a perfect win at home. I'm excited. I have hope again. Am I going to get crushed? Of course I'm going to get crushed. But the joy of being a Broncos fan. Also to mention, the 4 teams that were on bye this week were the the Lions, Titans, Eagles, and Chargers. So all these teams did have their bye. So we will see, kind of what they're going to be doing next. But next we're going on to picks of the week for week 6. And I think we have some great games, some close games, but we will definitely see here. Thursday night, I do have the 49ers over the Seahawks. I feel like the 49ers are just a better team. They're coming off of a bad loss, so are the Seahawks, but I just feel like the 49ers are just more complete of a team. Next, we have another London game with the Jaguars and the Bears. I have the Bears winning this. I know the Jags almost always win in London, but due to the hurricane, they're going to be a little bit more jet-lagged than the Bears are. So I'm using that as an advantage here. So I'm picking the Bears. Next, we have the Cardinals going to Green Bay. I have the Packers winning that game, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, if the Jags beat the Bears. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals beat the Packers, but yeah, I have them. Next, we have the Colts and the Titans. I have the Colts winning that game. I feel like the Colts have been pretty consistent, almost winning these games. The Titans are just way too, out of sync, not consistent at all. Next, we have the Texans absolutely destroying the Patriots there. So I feel like there shouldn't be any problem there. Next, we have the Bucs going to New Orleans. I have the Bucs just because, the Saints are playing a bunch of backups right now. I don't even know who the quarterback's going to be. I think it's going to be Spencer Rattler. It's never took, live snaps. So I feel like the Bucs are going to take advantage of that. If the Saints come out and win, dude, I'm going to be so pissed. Next, we have the Browns going to Philly. If the Eagles lose, man, just kiss the season goodbye. Next, we have, I think, the best 12 o'clock game with the Commanders going to Baltimore. I have the Ravens winning that game, but man, that's going to be a great game. Next, we have the Chargers going to Denver. I have the Broncos winning that game just because it's going to be pretty much just J.K. Dobbins. If we can contain him, we pretty much can win this game, I think. Next, the Steelers are going to Vegas. I have the Steelers winning that game, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends in a 0-0 tie. The Lions are going to Dallas. I have the Lions winning that game. I feel like they're a more complete team. Plus, they're coming off of a bye. The Cowboys, I could see them winning the game. But, the Lions have no business losing that. Next, we have the Falcons going to Carolina. I have the Falcons winning that game. It's kind of impossible to pick the Panthers here, unfortunately. But, yeah. Bengals are going to New York. This is a life or death game. I have the Bengals just because I feel like they are able to put up more points than the Giants. But this is going to be a close game, I feel like. But, yeah. I hope the Giants win. Next, we have the Bills going to New York for Monday night. I have the Bills winning that game. I could see the Jets winning this game, though. I could very much easily see the Jets win. But that's pretty much all the games. Well, that is all the games. The 4 teams that are on bye are the Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, and Vikings. So there's that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Kind of a short video today, but that's, kind of where the videos I want them to be. Either way, I know I said I was going to try to get this video out sooner. Trust me, I'm trying. But I will see y'all guys next week. Hopefully your team wins. Luckily the Chiefs don't play this week. So, yeah. Hopefully everyone's team wins. Except for the Raiders, Chargers. I will see y'all next week.